This is Richard Alexander. I'm the founder of the Sustainable World Project and author of the program Get a Life You Love, Get a World You Love. I was born in Holland, and in the year 1992 I graduated with credit as a civil engineer. After a year I changed my job and I became a software engineer, and I liked this very much. And by the year 1996 I had started a company in software consultancy. In the year 1999 I turned 30 years old, and this was the time that I started thinking about life. When I looked at the world, I was deeply dissatisfied. And I asked myself, if you could do anything you want, what would you do? Now the answer was a little bit shocking. The answer was, I want to start a project which will create a world which works for everyone. Now the moment I was thinking these thoughts, my conditioned mind, the voice in your head, that negative voice, always criticizing, judging, complaining, the voice in my head answered. It said, what? You? You want to change the world? Who are you? You're not Gandhi. You're not Nelson Mandela. You cannot do this. I thought I was not good enough. This process took more than a year, and I started realizing that if I would listen to this negative voice in my head, I would never do anything in my life. In the year 2000, I discovered a different voice. It was the voice of inspiration. And this voice said, what if you could play a game? What if you could live a life and contribute to bringing peace, love, and harmony to our world? Would that be a game worth playing? Would that be a life worth living? By the end of the year 2000, this voice had become too loud to ignore. I made the best decision ever, and I said to myself, I don't care what people are gonna say. I don't care what they think. But I'm gonna pursue this project because it's the most wonderful thing I can think of. So I made a decision to sell my house so I could finance the start of this project. I stopped my IT company. I bought a one-way ticket around the world. And in the year 2001, I left my country in pursuit of this impossible dream. So let's talk about this project. It's called the Sustainable World Project. The core of this project is to bring a new awareness. To bring this awareness that we're not separate human beings, but on a level that you and I cannot see with our eyes. Everything is connected to everything else. Everything is one. It means every person is me. So this new paradigm makes me think very different. If I think, how can I take good care of myself? Myself doesn't mean this separate body, thought and mind. No, myself means everything there is. So when I look at the world, I think there is a job for us to do because we are not taking good care of ourselves. The idea behind the Sustainable World Project is to launch structures which get people present as an experience how wonderful and beautiful and valuable they are. Because I have learned if we experience love, joy, peace of mind. And if we learn to express ourselves, to express our purpose, to live our passion, I have seen that it gets people related. It's simple, right? It all comes down to love, and love always connects. Love always includes. So basically our project is simply about bringing love and bringing this new awareness that we're all one. By the year 2007, I started what I call the money game. I thought at that time we need a lot of money to start this project. I was wrong, and I will tell you about it. In the year 2007, I started trading on the currency exchange, and in March 2007 I made a lot of money, and we were sitting on almost €500,000. Then by August that year I lost everything. A very difficult process started, but now I understand I had to learn about money. I had to learn to see how much how much we all are conditioned by money. A lot of people in the world are simply running behind the money, thinking that that will bring them to happiness. And we sacrifice a lot for money. We sacrifice not only our relationships, but also our beautiful world. In the year 2012 and 2013, for the first time I heard of the Thrive movement. And I will put a link below this video so you can take a look at this movie if you have not done so. In this movie I learned the shocking, confronting reality that apparently there is this small group of people who is owning the whole central banking system and is trying to control the world. This group of people is stopping inventions to come to this world like free energy and other technology. It was a difficult process, and it took some time. It was very difficult to believe that someone could do this. After some time I learned that it's easy to blame a small group of people. Our work is all about understanding the conditioned mind, and the conditioned mind has a lot of very powerful mechanisms: judgment, projection, denial, resistance, attachment, fear, guilt, sacrifice, shame, blame, and more. So it's very easy to judge, it's very easy to blame a small group of people. But after some time I realized that it is me, it is us, everyday human beings, who give this group power. How? Because we decide what we're gonna buy. We decide whether we become this shopaholic, buying stuff. We decide how we deal with our money, at which bank we keep our money. But we have to be informed, right? And that's what's happening right now. Worldwide, people are waking up. If you have not heard this, which I almost can't believe it, just go online and start looking for global elite central banking. You can start with the Thrive movement. You can read up on Michael Tellinger. And again, I'll put all the links below this video. So what are we talking about? It appears there is a global elite group trying to control the world, and with our banking system, we've created a system of debt. What I understand is that money is created out of nothing, and then it's being borrowed to the central banks in the different countries, and these countries need to pay interest. But where is that interest going to come from? So then we need to print more money, and we get stuck in a whole debt-based monetary system. And there are people way smarter than I. Just go online and you'll find all your answers. I think most important to understand that this monetary system does not work well for the world. It serves only a small group of people. I believe it is time for change. In the year 2008, I had taken a personal loan to see if somehow I could get the Sustainable World Project started. I've learned that actually all these years I've been paying interest, and I have been supporting, well, how can I say it nicely? I've been supporting a group of people who favor polluting energy, the whole oil machine, coal, nuclear energy. And it's not needed anymore. It is not needed at all. I was reading 2 weeks ago that there was a Sunday in Germany where the total amount of wind energy produced was more than the whole country needed. I think that's wonderful news. It looks like the whole world is waking up. So let's get back to this group. So we should be mindful, all of us should be mindful not to blame this group, because then again we're getting into this same game. Blame, judgment, punishment. What we can do is, as Gandhi said, non-violence, non-participation. If we don't participate in the system will shrink and it will finally disappear. And at the same time we can start creating a new system which truly serves all the people in the world. Now the good news, this is happening. This is happening right now. And I believe we all play a unique role in this process. So what are the things you can do? So one of the things I'm seeing is I'm paying interest to a bank which is creating money out of nothing and is supporting projects which I don't stand for, which I don't want to favor. Polluting projects or projects which bring violence to large groups of people. So now I'm in this dilemma. I'm getting messages from my bank, I need to pay up for my loans. And I feel I can't do this anymore. I do not want to support the system. So I think there'll come a day that all of us need to make some choices, and maybe some difficult choices, with what we do in life, who we want to be, and where we want to work. See, this group, they look very powerful, but we outnumber them with more than 1 million people to 1. And if people wake up, and that's what's happening worldwide, then they can't tell their armies to go to a country and plunder the country and install the whole corrupt system of central banking. Because there are no soldiers anymore who want to fight. I read this article on the internet, and it had a small video, and it was about an old man in the United States who couldn't pay his mortgage. And then the machine starts the process of eviction. And the system uses violence. So the day came that the police came to forcefully remove this old man. So story. So, sorry, this story really moves me. So this old man, he killed himself. What can we learn from this? We should learn from this to ask ourselves really important questions. If I am a policeman, do I really believe that violence is justified? Do I need to serve the system without doing any critical thinking for myself? Did you know that there are countries where there are more houses empty than there are homeless people? Is it me who is crazy, or should we just put those homeless people in these houses? But the system doesn't allow that. And the system is protected by laws. These laws are also mostly created by this small group of people. Again, I'm not saying this so you can focus your anger and blame towards these group of people. We need to get out of this destructive circle of violence. This is about informing ourselves and starting doing things which really serve. So I'm asking every human being, how about we start with this one? How about you and I promise, no matter what happens, I will never ever use physical violence towards another human being. If only this we would do, then the world would be changed by tomorrow. Isn't that the most exciting idea? If you like that, then please like and share this video so we can spread this message. The second step in becoming non-violent is, next to no more harmful physical actions, we start managing our communication. No more violent, harmful communication. And if you want to really put yourself to a challenge, then I think the next step, the highest level of non-violence, is you become so present as an observer in your mind that you stop the violent thoughts. I believe that the old awareness, where we're identified with the egoic conditioned mind, with all these negative, judging, violent thoughts, is the root cause of all problems. So if we wake up and we start looking at our thoughts, something will change. Let me ask you one question. Do you choose your thoughts, or do they just come? They just come, right? So your thoughts are not yours. Like visitors, they come, and like visitors, you need to let them go. So when you see yourself thinking, this person is an idiot, I'm gonna beat him up, you catch yourself. Break the identification with your violent thoughts, and the world will change overnight. So, here is my message to the people who work in organizations which do not serve humanity. And just in case you don't believe me or you have doubts, do your own homework. Go online, spend some time, spend some weeks, spend some months looking up information on the internet. And you'll see there's a lot of credible information from wonderful people who all give the same message. So here is my message. If you're working in one of these banks, and again I'll put a link of these, I have this list of 20 banks and people who've really done their homework. I'll put it under the video again. So if you work in these banks, I want you to do your homework, inform yourself, and then you need to ask yourself, who do I want to be? Who do I want to be? What do I want to do? What is your part in this global puzzle? Are you working on transforming this problem from the inside out? Perfect. Or do you want to withdraw your energy and get another job? Also fine. But just make sure you're informed, because would you want to work at a bank which is basically funding, I would say, terrorist actions, you know? It's violent crime against humanity. So inform yourself so you start seeing the bigger picture. Because if all of us withdraw our energy from the system, nothing will be left. And we can start, and it's happening right now. We are right now building a sustainable world. Millions of people, millions of organizations. Very exciting. Don't wait for support of your banks and your governments and the corporations, because they might have a different agenda. Work grassroots level. People. If you're a police officer, refuse to do any violent actions. If you're a soldier, refuse to go to war, refuse to kill someone. If you're in one of those free letter agencies, inform yourself and ask yourself who you want to be. It is not justified to use violence. Never. So let's talk a bit about this process of going through this transition from ego to oneness, from this lower consciousness to a unity consciousness. And let me share you my personal experience. Let's take this money area, because that's very strong programming. So ever since I lost that money in 2007, I've been in huge debt, and it has given me an opportunity to look at my conditioned mind and see how much fear is there. I'm afraid of the system. Daily I feel concerned. When the phone rings, when I get mail, when I pick up my email. And I have to deal with this. I have to deal with this because otherwise I'm bringing more fear to the world. And if there's one thing which is really destructive, it is fear. So I'm asking everyone to get present to what is your inspiration, what is your dream, what turns you on. And fall in love with life. Life is so beautiful. When was the last time you were moved to tears because you witnessed, you experienced the miracle of life? That's how it's supposed to be. But some people might live lives without maybe even ever experiencing this. And for a lot of us, it's long ago. I sincerely believe we can create a world where every day we wake up and we ask ourselves, what experience do I want to create today? And I'm seeing rapid change coming right now. I've spent a lot of time in the last months doing research on the internet. I've looked a gazillion YouTube movies, and every good news I would watch. And it's super exciting what's happening. You're aware of the free energy movement, quantum energy generators, and how wind energy and solar energy, it's becoming bigger and better. How people become aware of the banking system, how politics is changing. And people who just step out of the system live in a small house, off the grid, all over the world. I read about a self-sustaining island I read about a supermarket which on the roof of the supermarket had built this organic garden. So in the morning they pluck the vegetables and in the afternoon you buy it. People are becoming aware of Monsanto, GMOs, and refuse to cooperate. People don't buy any clothes which are manufactured by some poor kids. The whole world is waking up. So here is my message for the people working in the Nederlandse Voorschotbank, which is part of Crédit Agricole, which is one of the larger banks in the world. And sadly, they're in this top 20 banks which provide money for projects which don't serve the world. So I want first to ask you to do your homework and inform yourself. You could say, who is this guy? He has to pay his money, he doesn't want to pay his loan, he is irresponsible. Maybe I'm not irresponsible. My game is a world which works for everyone. My game is a world where every child is thriving, where every child is having housing, food, energy, and a wonderful, safe and loving environment full of opportunities. So the light we see in the eyes of children when they're aged 4, 5 years old will stay on forever. So what is my message to the people working in these banks? Inform yourself and then ask yourself, who do you want to be? What is my role in this game? Do I want to serve the agenda of this bank? Do I want to start bringing transformation from the inside? Do I want to withdraw my energy by changing my job? Or maybe you don't want to do anything. That's fine too. It is for you to decide. All I want is that you make an informed decision so that you really know what is happening. If I imagine this world, and ever since the year 2000 I've been writing a future for our world where people wake up fully excited about a new day. A world where work doesn't actually exist anymore because people live their passion. A lot of jobs are not needed, jobs which separate, jobs which control. We can do what we love and it will work. That's what is this paradigm shift. When there's a new awareness, people will realize we can have a world which works for everyone. So here is my request to the Nederlandse Voorschotbank and Crédit Agricole. This money has been created out of nothing. Next, you're asking people to pay interest. This system has to stop. It does not serve the world. This is my request for the Nederlandse Voorschotbank and the Crédit Agricole. First step, I request you to close the loan. I've sent another video to the Rabobank, and after some time they have decided to make an internal booking and they closed off all our debt. Second step, I'm asking you to become a partner. How about collaborating to create a world which works for everyone? How about collaborating so every child in each and every country wakes up feeling safe, feeling loved, stepping into a day full of opportunities to express themselves, If you're inspired by that, then take a look at our documentation. Below the video, I will give a link where you can download our proposal. We have a 3-year proposal where we're asking for $86 million. We also have a 10-year proposal where we're asking for $1.3 billion. For everybody who is watching this video, if you think that that's a lot of money, let me tell you the price of war only in 2012. It is 1,000 times more than this. So it turns out that world peace is actually pretty cheap. All joking aside, I'm looking forward to hear from you, and let's collaborate. Let's work together and make this world a wonderful place. Today is Monday. And yesterday, on Sunday, my wife and I received a father and his daughter from Madiwala slum in Bangalore, India. My wife is running an NGO where we're sponsoring underprivileged children's education. And when I hear Renuka and her father, Raghu, that they're simply only eating 1 meal per day, and they're fighting, then I have to ask myself, who am I? What am I going to do about this? These people need education, not traditional education, but a new alternative education which inspires them, so they learn new ways of communication. How can it be that while we have an abundance, we can feed 12 billion people right now? How come that these people eat only 1 meal per day? And what can I do about that? And again, we have to see the bigger picture. And don't operate from guilt. That's not sustainable. And we don't want anyone to feel guilty. But what I can tell you is how you can support these two people. Inform yourself and start living your purpose. Find your passion. You pursue that. Then automatically these two people will be taken care of. If you're interested to stay in touch or to know more, then feel free to take a look at our page www.getalifeyoulove.com. I repeat, www.getalifeyoulove.com. This is the landing page for our online program, Get a Life You Love, Get a World You Love. Here we speak with people from all around the world to collaborate. Our dream is to get each and every person a life they love, and guess what? Then we will have a world we love. Thank you for your time. Looking forward to see you soon.